This is Cynthia Ortiz. It's April 12th, 2023. I think this is like third one I'm doing today, podcast. And no, I didn't go to the club tonight again. Unfortunately, I was prevented from going to work to make money again. Mr. Perry wants to starve me into a lie. If I go to work, there's going to be all kinds of drama, right? We heard you ran my tags. See, if you're not stalking, like I said, and voyeurism and hacking and all that, how would you know where I am at any given time? And why would you even care? You know who doesn't care? Like Jason and Audra Moore, Steve at Massengale, and Stephanie Massengale. Because they're not stalking me. They don't give two flips what my car tag reads off. But we heard you guys talking about it. The ownership, the insurance, all that stuff. We heard you read the whole report. So who authorized that pull of my tags? Jim, did you do that? Charles says you did that. Is that true? He typed that in my phone. So here's the disclaimer. I'm just gonna roll through. I'm gonna roll through it there. Okay. Reasonableness. We're studying that in criminal justice college. Reasonableness, Fourth Amendment. Reasonable suspicion. Probable cause. All that. I made an A on the little test thingy that you got to do. Okay, so this is, I actually got them all right. 100. So I'm in my third year of criminal justice college. I have a 3.59. I did have a 3.99 until Mr. Perry jammed the computer up and I couldn't get assignments turned in at all. It's not like I did them wrong. I couldn't get them in at all. Then he had me kicked out of my apartment, and then a hotel. I lost literally everything I owned in about 30 seconds. Didn't owe the hotel a dime. Didn't owe them a fucking dime. They kicked me out and made me leave my stuff. We're going to call the cops. The girl was screaming at me. You know, our guys heard that and they played that for reporters. We have 12 of them and they need to know there's 40 cops, Mr. Perry. 3 of those reporters are not in this country. Some of the cops aren't either. Because you have your international sex exploitation dark website where your victims, including myself, we're all reality shows. Only we didn't consent to that. Some women don't know it. They're a reality show. And we're not being paid. You've been billed $1,000 a day for using me for your pretend love life and for profit, my body. And plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. You've been told for years, cease and desist. So when I'm broke, everybody goes apeshit on you guys, and we get information in like you pulled my tags on a car you shouldn't know or care anything about. So this, cops, is what you're supposed to do, Judge Parker, on stalking victims. And using their phone or cloning their phone is very common. You're not going to find anything on a search on my phone. You're going to find it on Charles's phone because he cloned it. And, like I said, you better know what we know or you're going to look bad later. So don't be factually ignorant. Our judge said, because I'm not factually ignorant, I've done diligence. We do diligence here in my court. My name's on that. My reputation's on it. I'm not going to look bad later. But because I'm that way, that led to the discovery that Judge Parker is factually ignorant and doesn't care. So how many times have you lied to her in her court? I mean, I sued you 3 times. The first hearing I was in, the very, very first hearing I was in, argued my side. Mr. Perry's motion to dismiss was denied by the magistrate judge. After that, they won't let me in again. There's no hearings when there should be. When there's legally prescribed hearings, there's not one. Or they've got one scheduled, and it just all of a sudden everything gets dismissed. That happened in not just the 3 lawsuits against Mr. Perry, happened also in my rental property, my apartment contract. We had a matter before the court for administrative decision as to whether or not to seal my address because I used the protected address through the state. You know why? I got stalkers running my tags on my car illegally. So he knows what the report says already. It's not his car. and he should know or care a thing about it. He's gone into court and sworn under oath that he's not stalking. He's not a video voyeur. He's not hacked my phone or cloned it. He's not communicating with me. He's not sold me to a realtor in Houston who is very upset that I have not been delivered already and taken a real estate test. He wants me to do real estate with him. I would on purpose if I lived that long. You got to understand, you're going to pay a shit ton of money, and if Mr. Perry can deliver me, he'll deliver me, and I'll be dead in a week. There's not going to be a test, dumbass. You're so stupid if you believe Mr. Perry. I'm sorry, but you just are. And I think they told you stop planning a life with her in your head. It's not going to happen. And, by now you got to know that. So, what were you going to do, Charles? Because you're always flirting with me on my phone. It's disgusting. I fucking hate that. It's disgusting. You going to share me? Is that what you told the guy? I said no to that. I said no to all of you. All of your bullshit, whatever that is. No to trafficking. No to your coercion. And you've put unbearable pressure on me. Your little threats that you made, we're going to starve her till she lies. You've tried to carry out. You've done a great job of it. I spent Christmas in my car by myself. He told my family they weren't allowed to contact me. Remember the same family that you want them to talk me into being trafficked? I'm not mad at my family. I'm mad at you. I told you not to contact my family. The cops that tell me everything you just said, like you ran my tags, same thing. The longer I'm broke, the more pissed off they get. The longer you invade my privacy, the more pissed off they get. The more you contact me, the more pissed off they get, because they told you not to. March 2020 and July 2022. You're not to contact her again. Her privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You don't contact her directly, indirectly, in person, through somebody, in any form, at all. Leave her alone. Control yourself. And she's not to have to ask for money or be broke ever again. And so, if you're going to do it anyway, then they're going to go apeshit on you. The more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction, Mr. Perry. And then a hell of a lot of restitution. The more injuries you cause, the more restitution and or civil action. And I've told you and told you and told you, I don't like you. Grow up. Act like a man. You know what we all do when we're rejected? Next. Just like that. So you're a failure that you can't keep up with normal people. Big fat fail. So we have these two videos. One is on here's what police are supposed to do with stalking victims, which TPD needs to watch it over and over so they remember it, because they don't know. You don't give it to the offender. This is and you don't blow it off. 44% increase in dead women, children with no mommies, murdered domestic violence victims since 2020 in Oklahoma. Yeah, okay. So here's the technology. We use your Dasher app to get you to a certain place where we got a cop sitting and he's going to pull you over. 6 times, 7 times, what, in a couple of weeks? And then you ran my tags already. You're waiting for the next pullover. He's even typing in my phone, we're going to have you pulled over. We're going to have you pulled over. I'm going to take your car. We're going to starve you until you lie. You need to go. You need to go to be trafficked. I'm like, oh my God, get the fuck out of my phone, weirdo. So there's the disclaimer. That's all I have to say about that. Mr. Perry has erotomania. He's got Huntington's disease. It causes delusion, paranoia, cognitive reasoning that is impaired, hallucinations, psychosis. He's a psychotic, legit, diagnosed. So any cop that wants to put your name on the bad decision of a certified diagnosed whack job, have at it. And if you had nothing to do with the one that we're going to court for on May 2nd, why are you trying to impede court processes? Tell the clerk, don't file her shit. She didn't. That happens at the municipal court in the state, but not federal. Why is that? We're not going to fire your stuff. I had arguments with the state court clerk more than once. We're not going to file that. And I go, you're going to file it, and then the judge can do what the judge can nix it, or tell me it was improperly filed or deny it or whatever the fuck the judge wants to do. That's not your job. You file the fucking paper. All right, fine. And she did. There was only one that the judge told me it was improperly filed, Judge Morrissey, in the default hearing of Lady Godiva's. She then told Mr. Goodwin, prepare a brief. It's on whatever matter it was. So she says, do you want me to go ahead and use this one that we just nixed? Or do you want to file a response to his? Well, I would like to see what he's going to say before we do anything. So nix the one you nixed, and then let him file his thing, and then I'll file my response. All of a sudden, that's just dismissed. I need my protected address heard, whether or not we could seal it. And actually, the landlord and myself were on the same side on that. We both agreed that we wanted the thing fucking sealed from you. Well, all of a sudden it just gets dismissed. He filed the dismissal, so you had to have called him while you're watching me type up my response or whatever. You didn't like what it said, so you tell him to dismiss it. So he's got like some medical diagnoses that are concerning. No impulse control. Can't think past tying a shoe. Because when you do the crime to me, you get caught, and yet you still go right back at it. And he wakes up in a new world every 5 minutes. Here's the conversations with Mr. Perry. I'm going to have you pull over. I'm going to have you arrested again. You're going to lie. I'm going to have you trafficked. You're going to go. I'm going to starve you till you lie. You're going to who's my league? I'm going to get away with this. I can do this. You're caught. So we're getting away with it. He types that in my fucking phone. And then I can't wait to see you. So if there's going to be a place where I'm about to go to and he's typing in it, I can't wait to see you, I won't go. I don't want to see him. I moved twice not to have to ever see him or hear from him again. And he tries to talk to me like he thinks I care what he thinks. And we're all like, why the fuck do you think that? You weren't asked what you think. You were told to get the fuck out of my life. Shut up and go away. For years, every day, I said no. So you're trying to coerce me. That's my granddad. My family was the power in the town where I grew up. County treasurer, city councilman. That's the alien affidavit. It's really kind of benign. It really doesn't say shit. If you read it, it doesn't say shit. He was in this magazine. This is the world I grew up in, Mr. Perry. You thought I was going to be impressed with you or jealous of you? You're off your nut. That was me and my granddad. I looked like a boat child, I guess. Some kid used to tell me. My squinty little eyes. This kid at school was bullying me. I told this story the other night. This kid at school was bullying me. Again, Mr. Perry, get out of my other phone. He likes to type in my other phone. Like he thinks this is a conversation. Talk about a weirdo. So when I'm doing a podcast, this is a recording in the privacy of my home. And weirdo gets on the other phone and starts typing. He's not going to do it where you can see it. Sometimes he'll do things that you can see. No impulse control. So, remember I said he tried to kiss me in a room full of people? He had to have been having symptoms of Huntington's disease even back then. Because that was no impulse control right there. And I couldn't believe he did that. I was like, oh my God, what the hell's wrong with you? I go to Ben. I tell Jordan and Ben, you got to do something. This is getting out of hand. And they tell me, you wouldn't want it to ruin your business, would you? Well, I guess I don't, but apparently you did. So we got some. This was some of my, work in Texas with lobbying. I did federal, or this was State Board of Education, not state legislature, two different bodies. This was Mr. Perry. She didn't like my politics. Really? Does it look like that right there? That's what you said. I'm being courteous. Thanks for, dinner or whatever. There was a bunch of people went to dinner. And I was thanking him for it. And whatever. You're a bright spot in my campaign. Really? Didn't you tell everybody I was just some stupid stripper? That was just like some sort of groupie? I got you elected, by the way. You don't know is what I know. The reason we did that is so the cops could get to you easier. And since you don't have impulse control and you no cognitive reasoning, no filters. Poor David, doesn't even know what the hell you told our guys that are undercover that talked to you. There's no telling, right, David? Then his campaign guys asking me for help on something. See, helped you get elected, helped your campaign. Just some groupie, stupid stripper. I did federal government reform. That's why I'm pictured with. That guy was like the second, third most powerful man in Washington, D.C. Senator Harry Reid, who, by the way, was completely misrepresented in the media a lot. He's a Mormon, pro-life, pro-gun rights. You know how I know? Because I went to meet with him. And first he did like a meet and greet in his office, and then he took each of us back one by one and talked to us. And so in the meet and greet, he told everybody, I differ from my party in that I'm a Mormon, and I'm pro-life, and I'm pro-gun rights. So in that way, I'm not really on this same wave as the Democrats. In every other way, I'm a Democrat. The thing about Nevada is it was a red state. We had a Republican governor for 20 years. Until recently, a lot of people from California got sick of paying the high taxes and moved to Clark County. So Clark County became the demographics completely changed. It became higher number of people who were registered Democrats. So now they call it a purple state. I believe that the governor is still is a Republican. I think the Democrat did not get reelected. So they went back to the Republican governor, but they've got a lot of federal elected officials, like their senators and their congressmen. I believe a lot of them are Democrat, and they're mostly in Clark County. But back then, it was a red state, and you had John Ensign, who was a Republican, and you had Harry Reid, who was a Democrat but conservative on social issues. So there you go. There's me with Rick Perry. There's me with Rick Perry. I'm just a stupid stripper. Yep, that's Congressman Nagelbauer. That's Sheriff Gutierrez and Ruth Schumacher. That's Tristan's dad, Brandon. You call Tristan all the time. Is Brandon and your mom talking? Oh, not that I know of. Are you sure they're not talking? Here's the thing. It's not your business, no D-body. It doesn't concern you in the least. Why the fuck are you making those kind of phone calls? And we know you're making them. Because when you contact me, when you invade my privacy, when I'm broke, when Mike's in jail, we get more. And I, using my granddaughter, his granddaughter, as a lure. Nobody tells me I have a granddaughter or there's one even coming. Until you want me, start getting real desperate to traffic me. We got to get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. Meantime, now we got a granddaughter has come into the world. So let's use her as a bait. And my son has not invited me to see his kid. You had someone else go. If you want to see your granddaughter, you're going to have to come to Texas. And not your thing to say. Tristan's never invited me to see his granddaughter, and he doesn't live in Texas, does he? Yeah, that was a big, huge mistake. So what I said is, here's what's going to happen with the granddaughter. I love my granddaughter. I would like very much for her to have a life without you in it. So if that means I don't get to meet her ever, then that's what that means. She's going to have a life without you in it. Don't you ever fucking say that to my son again. Don't you fucking call my kids anymore. Is your dad talking to your mom? I don't think so. Are you sure they're not? I'm telling you, my dad isn't talking to my mom. And I'm saying, I heard the recording of that conversation. I'm telling you, get the fuck out of my kid's life. It's none of your business who's talking to who. You're the criminal here. You're the offender here. Nobody's bothering you at all. We don't make those kind of phone calls to your kids. Why are you making them to mine? And you will stop or you'll be stopped. When we quote you, that's that process, you dumb fuck. I'm not kidding you. Stay the fuck away from my family. You don't have a choice. As much as we quote you, why do you think you do? We caught the raid. We caught you talking about what my tags say when you pull them up on a police computer. I heard you guys talking about it. Here's what it says. I texted that to my attorney. I texted what you said it says when somebody pulls up my tags on a police recorder about 2 hours ago. Texted it to my attorney. Mr. Perry, why is it you think I care what you think? Or why is it you think I would help you? Delusional. When we quote you guys and tell you, you will stop it. As much as we quote you, why in the fuck do you think you have a choice? Whack jobs? You don't. You're breaking the law? Stop. As much as we quote you, why do you think you have a choice? What delusion planet are you on? So that's my son's dad. They're good friends. He's good friends with Little John. They all went bowling. That's grandpa. That's my son's grandpa. And who talks to who doesn't concern you. Tristan, if you listen to these, I ripped your ass the other day. I'm not changing my position. I love you with all my heart, but you've always known how I taught you. You make a mistake, you take responsibility. You own it. You don't beat yourself up over it, but you do apologize and you do make amends. Put it behind you and you move on. When I told you to come home, you should have had your ass home. You hurt a lot of people when you didn't. I understand that through that situation you did meet a beautiful woman who is now your wife, and you had a great baby together, beautiful, wonderful baby. That's God's way of making something good come from even your bad decisions. And I never want you to forget, that's what he did. You didn't do that, he did that. He took your bad decision that hurt a lot of people in a way we will never get over. And he made something good come from it. And we're very happy for you. You don't even know. I am extremely happy for you. I hope you treat your wife like a queen. I want her to stay with you forever. So I want you to make sure you treat her very, very well. And when you look in the eyes of that little girl, I understand her name is Ellie. Ellie means light. And I believe that she came into your life to shed light on you, in your heart, so that you understand what you did to us, how bad you hurt us. And you make sure you don't ever hurt anybody again like that. And that may be right now your wife. Okay? Make sure you treat people like you want to be treated. And I said that to you all your life. I've already forgiven you, but you do owe me an apology, and I'm not going to apologize to you. I'm not going to enable something that was very hateful and cruel. I watched your brother get crushed. You were his best friend. The other good thing that God brought from your bad decision is Dennis learned some leadership skills. There were things that you did for him as his older brother due to lack of patience that he needed to learn to do by himself, and he did. And he's developed some leadership skills because of it. He's developed a lot of skills because all of a sudden he didn't have you anymore. It doesn't mean what you did was the right thing. It was very hateful, and it was very cruel, and it hurt a lot of people. And you owe us an apology. You owe the whole family an apology. And we put it in the past and we move on. And I'm staying on that. I'm not going to change my mind. That's it. That's my decision, and you know me well enough to know that when I make a decision, that's it. And you know me well enough to know that I believe when you hurt somebody, you owe them an apology. You were a kid. You were a child. I'm the parent. You're the kid. You hurt a lot of people. Okay? That doesn't mean, like I said, that you're not forgiven. You're forgiven. You hurt people in a deep, deep way. I can't even begin to describe. And the only way that you're going to be able to understand that hurt is through your daughter. That doesn't mean your daughter's going to do like you did to me. Nothing doesn't mean that's going to happen. I don't mean that. I mean that in the way that her life is, in the way that things go, and throughout your raising of her, there are probably things that all of a sudden will click, and you'll be like, that's how my mom felt. And it may not even be something she does to you. It just may be something that happens, or one of her little friends, or, there's a lot of ways that God can teach you a lesson through your own kid. Doesn't involve the whole family blow up again. I'm not saying that at all. Some people think what goes around comes around. You deserve for your kid to do that too. No, I don't think so. I disagree. I completely disagree. I think, though, she'll teach you some things you didn't know as she grows up. And it'll click for what you did, how bad it was, what you did. I think right now you may not even know. And I think you'll learn it through her. That doesn't mean that a horrible thing's going to happen. Sometimes it comes through good things happening, that it just clicks for you all of a sudden. And I certainly wish that. I'm not one of those people that, I wish you bad because you were me, you hurt me. I do Perry because he's a criminal. It's a whole different set of circumstances. You're a kid. You did something stupid. It hurt. It was very hurtful. God brought good out of it. That's God. God can take the credit for that, not you. But if these guys call you again and start asking you questions, assert some authority. It's none of your business. Don't call me anymore. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to take their phone calls. If they give you a hard time, you're more than welcome to text me and tell me they're giving me a hard time, and I will take care of it. We're doing things they've not seen before. Right? Very bad criminals. So, and you can't tell somebody, Mr. Perry, that you think you're getting away with a crime and then ask how everybody knows about it before you do it. So a lot of this stuff has my life before I met Mr. Perry. It was very different than what he told everybody. She's just a stupid stripper. Okay, these socks right here are a special kind of compression socks. And they're kind of expensive. They're for athletes. They improve performance, is the claim. So what I told the athletic director, and they bought some. And one day I walk in, and one of the athletic trainers is like, "Hey, I got some really cool news for you." And I was like, "What?" He goes, your socks are on the fucking website. Come look." So he pulls them up, and I took a picture. So that was kind of cool. This right here, when you have somebody threatening you with death and false arrest, you need a fucking protective order. And I forgot my first police report. I brought the case number and James Lowry's name. He was the officer that took the report. And forgot the report, though. Okay, so the judge denied it. Right? So the second one I filed with Tulsa police somehow ends up in the hands of the stalker. And in a week, I'm in jail for filing a false police report. I'm like, wow, when did they collect the evidence and investigate it? Well, here's the thing, Mr. Perry. You like attention and you like to cause drama. And you like drama. So if there was no arsenic in my blood, you would have made sure there was a blood test, and you would have had a big old press conference to tell everybody, "We tested her blood and there's nothing in it. She lied about me. She's just some stupid stripper." Yeah. Not always, sir. Not always. So, and it's part of it, you don't know what part of my job that is, do you? Yeah, we caught a lot of evidence. Me going to a strip club, which I was supposed to go tonight, but they were going to do a raid. Didn't I just say, Sheriff, didn't I just say those girls aren't the criminal, nor am I? You better know your shit. I do. The judge said, don't be factually ignorant. We're not. I'm not. These guys aren't. I don't want to work with, I don't want to sign an order for a police officer that's coming in front of me that I know doesn't know their shit. And then I sign it, and then I look bad later. This judge does not like that. Okay, you have to have reasonableness, Mike. I'm not going to call you Mike. That's disrespectful. I'm going to call you Sheriff Reed right now. That doesn't mean I won't call you Mike in the future. It depends on how respectful you treat me. It goes both ways. This was my deposition for Mike Neely, my office sheriff. Why do you want to do a raid on the club when I get there? To check my ID? You know why I know that? Because there's cops investigating Mr. Perry and for sex trafficking and coercion. And the longer I'm broke, the more we get. And the longer he's in my life, the more we get. The longer Michael Neely's in jail, the more we get. The more he contacts me and invades my privacy, the more we get. He invades my privacy because he's got a weirdo problem. They invade his privacy because they got a court order to do that. This was Chief Miller, maybe? No. We got one from Chief Miller, though. So there's all this. These are texts. Now, Matt Powell called somebody, maybe Mike Neely, and said, "Can we just get Frank Morrison to say she just misunderstood something?" And to which he said, "No. You can, but I think that won't work." The lie won't work, even if you use the word just in front of it. What the thing is Mr. Perry never says, why are you pissed off? She says, I'm pissed. He never asked her why, because he already knew. And he never denies spreading rumors of an affair, which is what she was pissed about. He denies having employees. Well, everybody knew he had employees. She named them, Robin and Carl Tepper. This is the McNamara email. Long before he did the false arrest for filing a false police report in retaliation for doing his job as a public servant. Oh my God, like you mattered. You're the new guy. I've been in it forever, all my life. All my life. A judge, Judge McLemore, helped me tie my shoe when I was 5. You think I'd be impressed by somebody like you? Nope. You saw me with Harry Reid. You saw me with Rick Perry. That was long before I met you. Okay, so this was dated in October 2015. What's it say? He's going to try to do a false arrest. And he's got Judge McNamara trying to put Dennis in jail too. I sent that to my ex-husband. Thankfully, McNamara did not do it. I don't know if you even talked to McNamara or if you found out we had this before you talked to her. So now this is called the McNamara email. And every day since this email, we quote what you guys say. And you think you're getting away with what? What is it you think you're getting away with? Yeah, they're doing it for you, princess. This was Cheryl's letter about Charles coming personally to Carino's, which he shouldn't have known about. I didn't call him and invite him. He came there because he hacked my phone. And then there's this. On the 4th. Okay, keep in mind the dates are important in this case. Right? Me being dead or arrested or on fake charges isn't going to vindicate him. It's going to prove I'm right. Yeah, he's been trying and trying and trying. Oh, so long. They did it. I filed a police report on the 21st. No evidence was collected. No evidence was collected. The police report was handed to the offender. And they obstructed justice and made sure there was no blood test to rule out or confirm arsenic. Because they were trying to murder me. See, when she called, look at the dates. February. Okay. Look at this one. January. See? And the police report's on another page. I can get it in a minute. Look at this date. 4. And the other one, as you saw, was October. Dates are very important. And then what does this say? He's supposed to not contact me. Have no contact of any kind. Yep, my bond conditions. You know what Mike and Lucky said about this? I've seen bond conditions. That's not what that is. That's a cover-up negotiation if I've ever seen one. What they said is, we need you to lie. And I said, fuck you. I'm not going to lie. I just lost my house. How dare you? You got a lot of nerve. You've smeared my name everywhere, and you know I didn't do any crime. I committed no crime at all. And you know that. By law, you got to file a police report to get a protective order. And if somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you need a protective order. Don't you think? Okay, so Tulsa police didn't take my evidence. There was a video from work. There was text from Dave, back and forth from me and Dave. There would have been probable cause coming out of all of that to probably subpoena Charles's at that point. But Detective Egan said that's not what we do at TPD. We don't investigate anything. Not for you. We're going to discriminate against you because you're a woman. Right? Is that how it is? And then here's the dismissal. Matt said, she torpedoed my case. Well, the thing, Matt, is there was no case to begin with. There's no crime. You held me illegally for 2 months when there wasn't a crime. I'm telling Carl Tepper, I wouldn't tell him, look on Charles's phone and you'll see he's watching me in the privacy of my home and hacking me. I said, watch him on his phone and you see it. You figure it out yourself. Didn't. I wanted him to catch him. It's in 2014. Look at this one. This is police recordings. More police recordings, Mr. Perry. Vulgarity. Well, it's a sex crime. What do you think it was going to be? Leave it to Beaver? Yeah, quite expecting League of It to Beaver in a world of very, very bad organized crime. Bad organized crime. Alright, so what other victim got this? You haven't trafficked me yet. You're trying to. Unbearable pressure. Starve her until she lies. Look at that. This is all the plan. All the plan. Witness statement. They're a fucking reality show and they didn't agree to that. We're gonna take her car. Yep. Tried to sell my car out from under me. We gotta get her back to Texas where we can do more to hurt her. Let's get her kicked out of her house. Oh shit, we can't right now because if we take all our money, like you did with the hotel, and then tell them kick me out. My guy said we had people calling us crying after they heard that. They were in tears. Why did she do that to her? Is she okay? Is Cynthia okay? Dear God, tell her she's in our prayers. Oh my God, that was awful to listen to. That was some serious abuse that he did that to her. And that woman talked to her, Cindy, like that. She said Cynthia was very, very dignified in the way she handled it. I don't think I would have been. This, kind of like this. Go to Pensacola, Mike. It'll be fun. Yeah, it wasn't fun. Pretty much if it's fun, you make it unfun. If it's easy, you make it hard. Everything's a problem. Everything's an ordeal. We got this one, Mr. Perry, because you were causing problems for me in Manford. Right? Point out for me. Who is that? I'm quoting somebody here. Point out for me the marks on this man that looked like he was in a fight. Point out. Look at the arrest report. Read it. Point out for me the injuries that look like Mike was in a fight. Point him out. Yep. Let's see. That's about that. There's not any. Red swollen right hand. Oh my gosh. Look at that. A red swollen right hand. Maybe because it has an IV needle in it. You should. Wow. You're something. Sherlock of the year. This was lucky right here. They wanted us to pull her over. We got other shit to do. 2 of them, Mr. Perry, have now said, he's diagnosed mentally ill, and I'm not putting my name on the bad decision of a mentally ill person. I'm not doing it. I'm a cop. Find somebody else. Yeah, another one. I have to go to the... Is that the one that's defending a cop and lost her butt? Yeah. Okay, well, I have to go to the bathroom when she blows by here. I'm not going to be the one to do that to her. I'm not doing that to her. That's very mean. I'm not going to be the one to do that to her. So how would he know when I was going to blow by there if you're not hacking my phone? Yeah, that's the big question, Mr. Perry. And this, they got me in jail. The guys that are helping me, Sheriff Reed, that told me you want to do a raid. Those girls in that club are not doing anything by their own volition. They're hearing y'all all talk about a raid, and they're hearing y'all all talk about, we're going to do this to Cynthia. We're going to rip her off the stage and throw her ass in jail and take her off this place and have her family tell her, you need to go ahead and go with them. Go be trafficked. Do they know that's what you're actually going to do and then murder me? I'm telling them now. Perry's typing in my phone. I'm so excited to see you. Uh-oh. Well, I'm not going. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. I moved twice, not to have to see you, not to have to hear what you think. And nobody understands why you think I would want to see you or hear what you think. I said, get the fuck away from me. So this is some pretty powerful people that can get that to me in jail, don't you think? Golly. Alright, so there's all this. This is other things that every time he contacted me, every day I'm broke, every day Mike's in jail, every day the club is empty and doesn't have nice, decent paying customers in it because you ran them all off. The saying, you ran off all the good, normal customers that aren't working for you. Yeah, that's where she's going to make her money and she gets to keep it. Yeah? Okay, because you did all that, we got more. All of these are subjects to recordings we have of you that I typed up. I would like to have a day where I don't have to do that anymore. I have other shit I'd like to do. So when you're in jail, I won't. These are the names of your people, see? You don't have any of our guys' names, do you? We got code words and shit. Papa John's means to make delivery on a trafficked victim. See, I have a protected address because you're a stalker. If you weren't a stalker, you wouldn't care where I work or where I live or have the tag on my car. You took one car. This is a different car. This right here. We're gonna, he was drugged. He didn't do it. Oh my gosh, it's March 2020. Look at this. Sure shit. He was drugged and didn't do it. You can't beat somebody to death so hard back and forth. Their head comes off their body. If you're passed out on, if you're about to die of opioid, this TPD didn't want to see these. They can look at them now, can't they? Yeah. Those are death threats right there from David. And I didn't get tested for arsenic. They, by physical force, prevented and delayed the reporting of the crime. This is one of the many pullovers they wanted to do, taking my taillight out. Yeah. Now they've already run the tag, and I heard them talking about what's on the police report, police computer. So if I get pulled over and a cop comes and tells me, I pulled your tag and it says XYZ, I'm like, yeah, I know, I heard about that. She's not going to admit to anything. She might lawyer up. Should I? Should I lawyer up? I don't know. So there's all this stuff. There is the date on my police report. Had not a fucking thing to do with abortion or pro-life marriage or, abortion or pro-choice, pro-life or protection of marriage or gun rights or environment or immigration or not a fucking thing to do with any of that. And yet, it's a political thing, right? Yep, there's the actual arrest. This is dated the 21st. See? Mr. Perry is delusional. Huntington's disease causes delusion, paranoia, hallucinations, psychosis, impaired cognitive reasoning. There's no tweet, there's no Facebook message, there's no text, there's no email about anything political that Mr. Perry had anything to do with at all. I didn't do state legislation in Texas. I didn't do state legislation at all. In 2012, I did a thing in New Mexico. This was after, I'll show it to you in a minute, after a whole bunch of Facebook messages telling my friends Mr. Perry's stalking me. That's not part of your legislative duties, sir. Okay, it's in New Mexico. That's what our shrink said. He cannot properly identify his legislative duties or what state he legislates in. He doesn't legislate in New Mexico, and he doesn't legislate in Oklahoma. Duh. So neither had anything to do with you, and it was about child abuse at teen rehab facilities that are faith-based. Because my parents had abused kids. They had a thing shut down. It was all over the news. Then not long after that, Tierra Blanca Ranch did. I'm talking to CYFD the whole time. They're telling me the law is limiting them on what they can do. So we start contacting lawmakers in New Mexico. Otherwise, I did no state. All the government reform, legislative agenda, whatever I wanted to work on was federal. I don't like state. State guys are just arrogant enough to get on your nerves. I'd rather do federal any day of the week. Any day of the week. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Mark Wayne Mullen's thing with the union boss. I feel like he needs to learn how to communicate better in DC, and that's all I'm going to say. I feel like I don't know enough about what all that was going on in the conversation to say whether I agreed with him or disagreed with him. But what I can say is that there's a certain decorum in DC, and he did not use it. He's new. So he needs to work on the decorum, that you're able to disagree vehemently with someone. The way he did it was not how you do that. I felt like that was not the way to go at that union boss. It was very disrespectful, and it didn't make the union boss look bad. It made Mark Wayne Mullen look like a hillbilly. So Mark Wayne Mullen just needs to work on the decorum. And as far as what the issue was actually, I don't even fucking know. I know that when the union boss said, how much money do you make? And he said, I make X amount of money. And he goes, then you're hiding money. At that moment, I went, he's probably right. When you're dishonest like that on the floor in a congressional hearing and you're not completely forthcoming with the question, then also you lose credibility with people. They might like you just fine. But when you do a rant like that and you don't have the decorum required in DC, it's just not Oklahoma. It's DC. It's a different environment. And you weren't completely honest and forthcoming, then your credibility gets shot. It's going to be, you have to rebuild that credibility. It's not easy to do. So there's my opinion on that. Otherwise, I mean, I just feel like I didn't hear enough to say, yeah, I agree with his point that he was making, or disagree. I don't know. So then you have, this, look at the dates. Long after I'm already in jail, nobody gets my blood test, nobody gets the video, nobody looks at my texts. I had bought in December charcoal to absorb whatever poison it was they were giving me, and they did the same thing to Mike. We both don't die. We both get put in jail. These were 2000 texts, 2011. Okay, so all about pulled up behind my house, watching me in my backyard. Creepy. My friend Cheryl talking about him coming to a restaurant looking for me. 2000. She said it was in January 2012 to November, I guess. It was in 2012. Years before, he would go into court and say there's a political vendetta, which was a flat out lie, and a false police report filed. He filed the false police report because my police report was never investigated. I didn't get a blood test. They didn't look at the video at Lady Godiva's. They didn't see these texts. They didn't see Dave's texts. Nothing political there. There is no rant about anything. What's the issue, Mr. Perry? Put the proof out. 9 years later, everybody's still asking you the question, what's the issue? Where's the evidence of a political vendetta? She didn't do state. She did federal. You don't matter. You're the new guy. I'd been in it all my life. I'd been in Lubbock 3 years. If I needed something, I'm not going to call the new guy. I'm going to call somebody that has some pull. You didn't have any. I don't need you. If you got a call, it was out of courtesy. I don't need you. I never did. I never lived in your district. I lived in John Frullo's. Put the evidence out or shut up, princess, you little pussy. And stop lying. Now, when you do lie, what happens is you lose credibility and you piss my guys off. And so we get more. Look at this. Look at this. You call the marshals? About what? Okay, but we heard it. We got it. Okay? I got 2 different phones, same account, doing 2 different things. Again. See, what I planned tonight was to do DoorDash for a couple of hours and make a little bit of money for gas and some other things that I needed for dancing tonight, and then go dance. And you fucked all that up. Again. So we get the marshals conversation. Every day that you contact me, every day my privacy is invaded, every day I'm broke, every day Mike's in jail, we get more. It's been that way since McNamara email. I just showed the McNamara email. Then we find out about a raid. They want to do a raid. Again, talking about the raid. That pissed a bunch of people off too. You don't need to do a raid. You got to have probable cause. You got to have reasonable suspicion. I told you the girls are victims. The criminals are Charles, Dave, Lucius, Calvin, those guys. Those girls are watching what you're doing to me, and it's intimidating them. They think they don't have a choice. The owner didn't know shit. I described the other night. Guys coming in with 14 grand. They don't want to pay to get in. $15. I finally get one of them to pay. There were like 3 or 4 guys. We got 14 grand. We don't need to pay 15 to get in. Yeah, you do, dumb fuck. Give me their $15. If you have 14 grand, you can afford $15. The club doesn't make any money off your stage money. Off the stage. Doesn't make a dime. We make money on dances, VIPs, cover charges, and drinks. And that's it. We're about to close, by the way. Oh, you're not going to close for us. We got 14 grand. Well, if you don't pay your cover charge, you're going to leave, and we are. Well, I don't care if you got 20. I don't care if you got 25. One of them then finally hands me the 15 for each of them. And then I walk over on a different one, threw $60 on me thereabouts, and says, that's for you, pick it up. I picked it up. It was almost demeaning the way he did it. And then Sadie throws a fit. You can't take our money from our customers. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's not, wow. She's about to cry. I don't even, wow. Then the owner tells him, you have to buy dancers or leave. We're going to close. And they argue back and forth, and they're giving him the runaround. If he knew, I've never talked to the owner about any of this stuff that I saw. There was a long time ago I talked to him about a different girl. She's laundering money on the stage. Years ago. She's not even living in Oklahoma anymore. So she got arrested for drugs. She went to drug court. She's cleaned up her act, and she left the state. Okay, everybody else, I've not mentioned it to him. So he's telling him, buy a fucking dance or get the fuck out. And if he knew about this stuff and they were getting some of that money from the stage, he would have never said that. He'd have let him stay. He said, buy something or get out. We're trying to close. And they're arguing. Sadie throws a fit. Nervous breakdown. I'm going to cry. Here we go again. Because what's going to happen is she has to take all that back to Dave, that money. 4 girls left with those guys. And then to think we're stupid. We went to Waffle House. They threw it in a parking lot and the homeless got it. Sure. But okay. I'll say I'll believe you if that helps you. Anyways, she's upset because now she's short the cover money. She's short the 60 thrown on me, and the money didn't get laundered. Because once he throws it on the stage, now it's not money for sex or drugs. Now it's just stage money. So she's freaking out. Now I'm going, what's Dave do to these girls if they don't do what he, do everything just perfectly? So you want to do a raid, duly noted for the record. And you want to get my ID, duly noted for the record. And you want to pull me over, duly noted for the record. And you want to take my card, you want to traffic me, and you want to put unbearable pressure on me, and use me do another false arrest, and have my family try to talk me into being trafficked. And you wanted me to have my realtor's exam taken and licensed by now. And I'm not going to take it and pass it. I'll fail it on purpose. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to play your game. You guys are sickos. If you can even get me to leave Oklahoma, I'm here. You're gonna leave. Nobody invited you here. And we're getting the intel because everybody hates you, Charles. We're getting the intel before you do it, not after. This is not an afterthought to explain something away. I got it before, not after. McNamara email was before, sir. Pay attention. You act like you have no fucking idea what's happening or what I just said. Huntington's disease. When I'm broke, when you're still in my life, when you invade my privacy, when you contact me at all, I fucking hate it. You disgust me. I don't care what you think. I don't want to see you. Then we get more and I find out things like you got Huntington's disease. You're a fucking mentally ill man who's also mentally retarded. Our shrink nailed it long ago. So we got all this. Mays County, they wanted Mays County to have, she should have been in jail and not able to talk about what we're doing, all the crime we're doing. Yeah, okay, whatever. So we got all that this morning because everybody's sick and tired of you. Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody's sick and tired of you. You've come up here in a state where you weren't invited and don't live. And you have horrified and terrorized and horrified and terrorized and horrified and terrorized and made people want to barf. And everybody's sick of you. Everybody's tired of you. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody hates you. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's tired of you making me broke and raping me in my home. Everybody's sick of you and they hate you. And so that's why we can get this. And you can't. Now, have I repeated myself enough yet, Mr. Slow? He said in March 2020 and again in July 2022, you don't invade her privacy anymore. You don't contact her or her family in any form, directly or indirectly, ever again. She's not to be broke and have to ask for money even one more day. You get the fuck out. Respect the law and her, or I'll do it for you. So when we get stuff like that, that's what that is. And the more of that stuff we get, the easier it'll be to convict you and get restitution. And then sue the shit out of you in civil court. If you have any money left after you have to go through each and every one of these, your attorney has to listen to each and every one of these, figure out how we got it, and see if he can go in and get it suppressed. If you have any money after that, it'll be a miracle. Because every time you contact me, every day I'm broke, every day Mike's in jail, every time you try to pull some little sick stunt, we get more and more and more. They're stacking up. They're going to bury you. They're going to arrest all of you at the same time and bury you all. So, here's the thing though. The only thing you were asked to do is leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody hates you. Everybody's sick of you. Why can't you get that? Why can't you understand how sick and tired of you, and everything's a thing, and everything's drama, and if it's fun, you make it unfun, and you got to take people's lives and blow them up. And everybody's sick of you because you do that. So that's why we can get shit and you can't. Nobody will tell you who's getting it and how. How does it get from you to me? Nobody will help you with that. Will they? Leave me the fuck alone. Tomorrow, if I'm broke and you're still here and you're contacting me again, we'll get more. Don't cry about it. You asked for it. It has been that way every day for years. McNamara email was the first you know of. And look how much more we got since March 2020. You choose. You live with your choices, right? Can't you, princess? Yeah.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me see.
I don't! Stop stalking me! Please! I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No! 0 minutes! I don't...
I moved twice. I completely started my life all over twice. Now you fuck off.
I want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me. Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me. Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me. Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me. Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me. Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me. Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I'm here. Leave me alone.
No, I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to.
This make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you feel?
The one that put all those scratches on your arm. You want to see the
Scratches? I got scratches.
I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't
get
give a
it.
fuck. You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can
find
bring
Is
the
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army. I don't give a fuck.
This make
I get threatened the same thing. I'm gonna starve you. I'm gonna take your car. Thousands of emails that go with thousands of recordings. Hundreds of thousands. So, she's trying to explain to him, how's it feel? You got somebody sticking a camera in your face. Mr. Perry does the same thing. Says the same thing this guy says. I got pictures of you. I'm a stalker. I got pictures of you where you are, just working. Just doing normal things normal people do. Don't call my son again and ask him if I'm talking to his dad, because it isn't your business. Is it? Tristan, tell him it's none of your business. Why don't you fuck off? Don't call my family. My family's gonna talk me into being trafficked and murdered. Really? Yeah, okay.
you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this?
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me
All
alone.
you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, man. Leave women the fuck alone.
I don't care what you think, Mr. Perry. No one understands why you think I care what you think. Nobody understands why you think that. Nobody understands why you think I would help you. You're still asking me, is this person a leak? Is that person a leak? I can get away with this. You're caught. So I can get away with it. If I'm quoting you delusional, you're not getting away with shit. And when I tell you, get the fuck out of my life, as much as we quote you, why do you think you have a choice? No one understands why you think what you think. Whack job stuff. Normal people can't understand you guys at all. You make us sick.
All you want.
We can get information and you can't, because everybody's sick of you. You need to understand just how sick and tired of you everybody is before you start complaining. I heard you talking about my tags. I heard you talking about a raid. I heard you talking about, another false arrest. And, she's supposed to be in jail and not able to talk about what we're doing, all the crime and shit. Yeah, because you need to understand how sick and tired of that and what you're doing to me and me being broke and Mike being in jail and you're invading my privacy. Everybody's sick of it, all of you. That's why we can get information and you can't, dumb fucks.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, man. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me
All
alone.
you want.
I don't want proof of this.
Okay, so just to quickly recap, I don't care what you think. Charles didn't ask you, Connie Curry. I asked you not to contact me and don't invade my privacy. I'm doing a legal collection of debt right now. You owe me $1,000 a day for using my body for your reality show. You didn't have my consent. Plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. You're using my body against my will illegally. For profit and for your pretend love life and for your little reality show. Get the fuck out of my privacy. And I'm not to be broke again, he said in March 2020, or have to ask for money. You're not to keep me from working because I'm worried about a raid or a false arrest. And you used me to intimidate the other girls. And we know that, and we've said it over and over and over. Oh, let's call the marshals. What are you calling the marshals for? We heard you already ran my tags on my car. We heard you reading what the police computer says. You know what? He said in March 2020 and again in July 2022. The cops that are actually getting the information on the real crime. She's not to be broke anymore or have to ask for money. You don't invade her privacy anymore. Get out of it. You sick fuck. And you're to contact her or her family again. Not directly, not indirectly, in any form at all. Not by hacking, nothing. Get out and shut up and go away. Or we'll do it for you. And so, I just showed you all the stuff we gotten since March 2020. Do you like it that we have that? Seems like you do. Seems like you do. Huntington's disease, we found out you have Huntington's disease. And you got 2 or 3 cops saying, I'm not putting my name on a whack job's bad decision or a mentally ill man's bad decision. I'm not doing it. Sheriff Reed wants to, let him do it. I'm not doing it. Right? I got to go to the bathroom when she blows by here. How does he know when I'm going to blow by there? What's it to you what happens in the May 2nd traffic court if you didn't do that? What's it to you what happens, what happened in Chief Miller's murder trial? I filed motions to intervene. There should have been a hearing to see if I had standing to file those motions. And again, no hearing. There's supposed to be a 14-day hearing after a protective order is requested. I requested one in the state case, and I put a police report in there. And again, we have no hearing. 5 attorneys can't handle one chick with no law degree. I'm never in court. Or you call it in, and all of a sudden it's just all dismissed. Everybody's noticing there's a problem. You're corrupt. We can get information because everybody's sick of it. And you need to understand just how sick of it everybody is, Mr. Perry. People don't like your crime. Okay? I don't like your crime. I don't like you, and I don't give 2 fucks what you think. I'll move twice not to have to hear what you think. So fuck off. Leave me alone.